That looks like us.
Yes.
It does look like us. We didn't do an audio check beforehand, though.
No, we didn't. That's okay.
Um, yeah, we could say thumbs up if anyone can hear us, but we won't know till 30 seconds later.
Hold on.
Uh, I'm just going to quickly turn this off mute. Oh, I'm coming through, right? Yep, sounds
Yep.
good.
Yep. Sorry,
Looks like it's
everybody.
working. Mute that tab.
I'm doing it. I'm doing it.
Skadoosh.
All right.
All right. We're here. Um,
So
the
that was
smoothest
fun.
intro that we've ever done.
Very smooth. Hello, everyone. This is Daniel Glenn, joined by Darrell Webster. Hi, Darrell.
Hello.
Today we're going to be talking about um, some some really exciting news, I think. One, though, is about the Microsoft 365 temporary feature adjustments. Another is the structural navigation caching in SharePoint. I'm actually pretty excited about this. And then how does the header on your SharePoint pages act when you scroll? So let's just dive right into it, everybody. Okay, that was fun.
Was it? Okay. Well, it looks like us. Everyone's saying that they're so confused that it's like they've been thrown into another country where you drive on the other side of the road and Daniel's
Yeah.
on one side.
Sorry, everybody. It is kind of a stressful day. So just a little bit behind the
Dive.
scenes, and then we're going to dive right into it. But behind the scenes, what happened is about 10 minutes before we started streaming, Darrell says, Daniel, I'm not able to stream. Can you do it? And so we have had to do some fun time things to get this going. But we're going. We're going to plow ahead
Here we are.
and get going with the announcements. So bear with us
Yep.
today. It's going to be different, but we're going to cover it and do a great job of covering the announcements. At least we're going to try. Right? All right.
Yep. I could see that from here without screen sharing.
All
Sorry.
right. All right.
The
So
magnification bumped
I'm
up there.
going to now. Nope, that's not what I'm doing. Um, Hold on. I gotta
Close
do
that one.
that. Okay, everybody. So the first up is Darrell. This is MC207566, syncing files that are used by your local computer. This is all about OneDrive, right? Yeah. Yeah, but the second part of that though is to make sure your users understand that they may see deleted files. So what the application is actually going to do, if you migrate those files, using a migration tool or manually, then what that sync application is going to do is actually delete those from the web copy. And so just be mindful of that those files will be deleted by the sync client. So this is rolling out late March, which, ta-da, today is late March, and should be completed by the end of April.
What's this next one
Yes.
about? Structural navigation caching.
Well, caching or caching, but so this is this is MC207740, and everyone's missing Darrell dancing. This is all about if you have publishing features turned on for your SharePoint site, so publishing enabled SharePoint sites, you will see a new option to control the caching of those navigation items. And for those that are familiar with SharePoint structural navigation in the past, this is actually the biggest problem with structural navigation is performance. And so this is kind of addressing that, is that they're introducing a way for you to cache. There's a settings. There's a setting that will be under the site information, look and feel heading, and navigation. You get that navigation link when you enable publishing on your SharePoint site. And when you do that, there will be a enable caching checkbox. And this is kind of addressing that to where the site will be more performant, will actually work a whole lot better if you do enable that caching. Oh. It is missing. Terribly sorry, folks. Sorry, terrible.
I'll type my.
What did you type that? And we'll. Sorry about that.
My audio. And of live fixes.
And let's do. Hold on a second. Okay. Say something, Darrell.
Check. Say something, Darrell. You can see my levels bouncing around, can't you?
I can see your levels bouncing, so hopefully everyone is going to be able to hear you from now on. Terribly
so
sorry.
Nice that they wanted to hear me. It's all right. They were missing my puns. Please continue. I think you covered that one off.
I think we did.
I didn't have any comments to pass on it because you're the expert on that one. Yeah, some updates to Office 365 ProPlus monthly. So yeah, software is coming on in and some changes.
So changes to this.
That's just a usual routine kind of update. So we'll skip over that one.
Yeah.
Just go there to the release notes that Daniel's pointing out.
Exactly. Check out those release notes.
MC 207861. And
so here we are, MC 207565, Darrell. This is another Microsoft Secure Score improvement message.
What has improved? Has my score improved is really the question.
Oh, yes.
In an effort to better represent the security posture of an organization, we're adding new improvements. Thank you. Always good to improve my posture, listening to feedback. What have they added? Provide meaningful and accurate representation of security posture. So they're just improving the digits.
Well, yeah, they're basically removing some of the inputs that affect your score. You remember, we've talked about this prior. This is another announcement saying we're removing even more. So things like, and they're also adding additional support for some other security improvement actions. But in the blog post, the top 4 here, they're showing the ones that they're removing. If you could check those out, but things like designate fewer than 5 global admins. So if you don't do that, then now it will not affect your score. So they're going to remove that for affecting your score. I said this last time we covered this type of message. I'd rather give me the capability of disabling the ones that I want to disable. I just don't, because this is used by different companies in different ways, and some of these may be a really big factor, don't you think, Darrell, to play into that?
Yeah. I mean, if you're a larger company, then maybe you do need a few more global admins. You know, who knows?
Yeah, and I'm just thinking things like delete block accounts not used in 30 days. Well, for some organizations, that's bad because they may have people that don't use their accounts in 30 days. I mean, there's some work loads that's the way it is. So yeah, removing this from the secure score is good because, of course, they're going to have some of those people. But then some companies really want that and want to watch that and making sure that they have a setting for that. And now it's not going to dock them if they don't have that setting. So, but anyway.
Yeah.
Okay. So there was an update on the preparedness for COVID-19. So just some wording in there. So check out that. Message.
Did you miss? Did you miss one?
No.
No. Okay.
What
Well,
do
I've got
have?
one in between, which might be interesting.
Sure, cover it. Let's go.
Oh, it's just in a different order. It's the one above that. So we'll just stick with your screen order. So that COVID-19 guidance for best practices in Teams, I don't have that one. Please keep going.
Okay. So this one is just how systems are being impacted and for what's going on. And then this is also, we talked about this previously about Microsoft just saying, here's how we are dealing with this and how you can be reassured that we're taking care of you and with our people in the data centers and such. So that was MC 205458. All right. So the next one, co-editor chat. This is Darrell. This is an interesting one. So
it's a reversal. It's a reversal, right? Oh, MC 207547. Yep. When we had, people are still using Skype for Business Online in some places, but it's while you're editing an online document, you've got that ability to have a chat with someone over Skype for Business up on the top right-hand corner. But now that we're kind of using Teams, we don't really need that. We're actually, the reversal is we open the document and the chat is down the side and it's within Teams, not like we had with Skype where you're opening Skype as kind of a bubble within the document.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so they made an announcement, and this was since I guess it was last Tuesday for us, and said, okay, we're going to roll that back. And so if you want to chat with someone in a document, you do that by mentioning them in a comment, right? In Word.
Mm-hmm.
But then they came back 2 days later here and said, never mind, we're not going to retire that at the date that we told you. We're going to retire it right now. And so that's the part that I was like, wait a minute, what? So if you look at the top paragraph, that's what it's saying.
Yeah.
And it's worded really weird, I think. However, due to these issues with the feature, we made the decision to pull the retirement date in. What? I don't even know what that means. But in effect, what it means is we're done with it. Instead of retiring it in April, we're retiring it now. It's gone.
I think it relates to the next update in our message center, actually.
Yeah. So
this is a dying feature. It's taking resources. We need those resources.
Yeah. So basically, everyone, this chat feature within those documents is gone for you. So if your users have been using it, then you need to work with them and let them know that of what they should be doing, which the recommendation is that mentioning in the comments or using Teams to do chat. So that's the recommendation for that. Okay?
All right. Yeah.
The next one, which is kind of our headline for today's show, MC 207439. Awareness of Microsoft 365 temporary feature adjustments. I'm doing lots of hand quotes, and people can't see me, so I'm going to do it. It's quotes. Temporary feature adjustments. So, Darrell, what is this all about? This is, and we've talked a little bit about an update about similar to this, but what is this all about, Darrell?
If you may have noticed, the world is rushing to working from home type technologies. Nice. You got a friend showing. We actually synchronized our. I'm sorry, I'm seeing the delay. Anyway, the world is working from home. Yep, that's great. And a lot of organizations are starting to use Microsoft Teams and related technologies that are connected to that, synchronizing and OneNote and all sorts of stuff within SharePoint. But it's not to say that Microsoft weren't prepared for this growth eventually, right? You've got to get in servers and services and provision stuff, and it was all forecasted. Then along came coronavirus, and everything had to happen right now. So to try and improve the capacity, the performance, they've dialed down some of the non-essential features within Microsoft 365. We'll talk through a few of them in the list there.
Yep.
I think it was, it was late last week, and I clicked into a notebook within Teams, and it had this yellow banner across it, kind of saying, you won't be able to actually do anything in here right now, but and I'm paraphrasing, of course. Open up the full version of OneNote. So it'll be in read only for OneNote. What about SharePoint? Looks like there's a lot of additional information there. You want to click through to that one and tell us about that?
Yeah, there is. There's some content migration, and we hinted at this one before. Content migration will be slowed down during the business day of the region that you're in. And let me zoom in here just a little bit on this one. So users may observe, though, the migration DLP, and I think that's actually the biggest one for me, is to making sure people understand that there may be some data loss prevention delays for your content, and then backup solutions. If you have a third-party kind of backup solution that's taking backups of your environment, then that may be a problem. File management, there's going to be some images.
Well,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
The DLP stuff and migration is probably some throttling to the migration APIs.
That's right.
So that means that there'll be less data that you can back up.
Yep. File management, so 360 file view is being disabled and won't be available until the process is run after hours. So
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I mean, automatic tagging of images with metadata. So the wonderful tagging of I upload a tree, it tagging it as a tree, that will be done after hours. If you've recently edited an Office document, it may not be able to open in Office Online. So just making sure that you realize that those changes won't be synced for Office Online to open it. And then reduced video resolution. If you're playing back videos that are in SharePoint, the resolution will be reduced, so they don't have to stream.
You'll actually see a similar note there for stream when we go back to the message about video resolution.
That's right. It's
so that. It's good to see the SharePoint have pulled those lists together so that we've got it in a nice tidy fashion. So stream, there it is. And you might have noticed this if you've done any meeting recordings lately, that the quality, it's downgraded to 720p, which is fine for faces. But if you're into the detail and sharing screens, then here's a tip. If you are sharing your screen and you've got a great honking huge monitor with massive resolution, how about before the meeting you change the resolution on your desktop to maybe 1920 by 1080 or even 1280 by 720, because that's going to help with detail.
Yeah, that's a good tip.
Or use the magnification like you've seen Daniel do today with browsers.
Yep, that is, I think, one that you could definitely use that would help out a lot. All right, so next message, shall we, Darrell?
Yeah, we'll flick on through these really quickly because you haven't got much time and you've got to go somewhere.
New authentication method for OneDrive on macOS. This is MC207944. This is basically allowing OneDrive users on Mac to enable single sign-on. So, which will give them things like conditional access. So just a new way of signing in to OneDrive and being able to do that single sign-on experience.
Yeah, then that's a great experience in Mac because it also means that the single sign-on is shared between other Office applications, and good to see.
Yeah, I agree with that. And so the next couple messages we have actually are Kaizala. So I don't know, there's a lot of people in the US and such that don't use this. I get the feeling, and people I talk to, but for the rest of the world, though, it is used much more. Limiting the KPI usage, MC207939, limiting the KPI usage to only org mapped groups.
What's
an org map group, Darrell?
Well, I guess it had been used to extend the Kaizala network to external groups. But yeah, they're limiting that. Again, it might be a performance thing as well, but just only allowing it for the groups within your org.
Yeah, well, and it's also, so it's talking about if you have them in private groups, then yeah, you need to switch those to org-mac groups if you're using the KPI on that group. So
right.
Yep. Shows you, walks you through how to actually do that. The next one is
good message.
Yes, the next one is endpoint URL changing for Kaizala API MC207938. So they're making it, and they're updating the API endpoint to be the api.kaizala.law. Sorry. So if you're using the API to connect to Kaizala with the previous ones were KMS and KMS2, you'll see that right there, then you need to update your URL. And that'll be end of April when that's switching.
LA domains.
Yeah.
No, I don't see that it's might be a corporation rather than a country. Oh, Lao.
No.
Oh,
yeah.
no.
Yeah. No.
Anyway,
it's
I was just figuring out. Yeah. That next one's significant. Not a lot to say about it, but just that it is significant for right here, right now.
it definitely is. So we're talking about MC207957, which is Microsoft Teams increasing team membership limit to 10,000. Just like you said,
10,000. Just trying to put the Alistair Pugin spin on it.
Yes, it is allowing your teams to have up to 10,000 members. This is, I think, and this is rolling out end of April, will be completed by the end of May. So it hasn't started yet. This is, and we don't need to dive into this too much because I think we've had this conversation across the Regarding 365 brand, both in blog posts and videos and things we've done. But this is one of those things where you need to manage. You're going to have the ability to have 10,000 people in a team. Do you want those 10,000 people to be able to create posts? So you need to be managing that and thinking about that for your organization.
I reckon we need to do a deep dive on that. We'll park that one because I've had some change of heart there. Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Darrell has had some change of heart. Okay. So
it is possible, but we'll deep dive.
Okay. So that is associated with roadmap ID 62549. Just to let everybody know. One that I teased, the next message, MC207968, one that I teased in the intro is changing the header behavior for modern SharePoint sites and hub sites. So this is pretty simple, but what it's going to do is when you are scrolling on your SharePoint page, the header is going to shrink. It's going to stay there, but it's going to shrink for you, so it's not taking up so much real estate for when you are scrolling. I'm excited about this one. I know it's a small change, but I'm actually pretty excited about this one because
little change. It's all about shrinking, right?
Sure.
Oh, hang on.
So this is standard release customers in mid-April is when that's starting to get that. Early April is when targeted release customers will start getting it. But yeah, it's all about getting that screen back. I don't need that full header. If I'm scrolling, really my focus is on that content. It's not on the navigational header, and everything else that's in the header. So it really is all about that. So I'm loving that. And it says, only thing we need to do to prepare for this change, of course, is to update our user documentation and training materials. Although I think this one is, personally, I think this is small enough to where, small enough. I think this is a not as a big, anyway, I think you don't need to update your training materials just yet.
Stop talking about size, Daniel.
Here we go. Next. And the last one we have is MC208100. Outlook Mobile updates the search experience. Now, I will say, Darrell went on a rant a bit on Twitter right before the show saying, what in the world's going on this about the mobile experience for when we look at these? Because if you look at this message, it is formatted so differently than what other message, and we don't get the images in the mobile experience. And I think these message crafters don't remember that. So it's very
Equality,
interesting.
please. Equality.
Yes. So so this message, Darrell, what is this message?
Improvements to search. Honestly, I couldn't read it to brief myself properly on it from the mobile while I was making my coffee. It looks like a lot of tasks and to do. I mean, it looks like they're bringing in a lot of suggestions and preemptive stuff to make the search better when you tap into it.
Yeah.
What is project? So you go down here. Oh, you mean project? Ooh,
right.
Okay.
So this is for
it wrong.
Yeah, this is for Android and iOS. So yeah, basically what I feel like it's just a little bit of AI into the search experience, looking at what you're searching for and going, okay, let's deal with this. So the first one here is, if you make sure that you type something. Oh, did you really mean this? I do that all the time on my mobile phone. Oh man, I got to go back and retype this because it was the wrong thing. So I really like that, being able to get the intent. When you do a targeted search, like what is Megan's phone number, it's actually going to display Megan's phone number. So yeah, I like that as well. What if you misspell Megan? That's going to be interesting. Well, it combine it. Megan. So I like that update. That's really sweet. So for Outlook if you're doing a search for that as a calendar result, it's actually going to show you the calendar result and give you some options for editing the RSVP or joining the online meeting, which is nice. Directly from within search.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
This is going to be worthy of a video.
It is. I had already thought about that, Darrell. I think we, covering all of these new features, and we'll talk about when it rolls out. But so this one is, if you're grouping, there's going to be some groupings, intelligent groupings of search results. And then insights. Your insights page is going to have what's coming up in this week. So meetings and files and to-do, all within that experience. So that's pretty sweet for that update as well, I think.
Very impressive Outlook mobile.
Yeah.
Well done.
Your search on screen.
And a side comment there too. A little ways back, it was only about a week or so ago, performance for Outlook mobile was pretty crappy. You'd do a search, you'd come back, and the app basically refreshed and take you back to your inbox. They've fixed that. Cooperating now properly with the latest iOS version. So well done again, Outlook mobile team.
Yeah, and the only thing I wanted to just highlight here is the fact that several of these have, when they're rolling out, coming weeks. Some of them said, we're talking about the end of April. So I think some of the top couple ones, maybe in the coming weeks, would be the beginning of April, but that's kind of iffy of when exactly. So just be looking out for this Outlook updates in the app stores for you, and then being able to do those searches, and obviously look out for some videos that we might do as part of regarding 365.
Nice.
Darrell.
Good job, mate.
We made it through the show. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. We hope that we covered these messages to in a way that helps you in your organization. Did you see anything else big you wanted to talk about, Darrell, before we sign off this week?
Just that the world is working from home. So what is that? Worldwide WFH. Yeah. Okay. No, I got nothing. There's a lot happening, and I think we're all going through our own focus areas for enabling ourselves, enabling our customers. IT help has probably taken service desks are taking about 3 times as many calls as they normally would. Some countries are in lockdown, some are just going into lockdown. Flatten the curve. Spend some more quality time with your computer at home and your family. And your family, maybe, but yes, definitely the computer. So thank you, everyone, for joining us today.
tonight, wherever you are. Thank you very much. Really appreciate it. And make sure you hit us up on the socials, on Facebook and LinkedIn and Twitter for Regarding 365. But until next week, bye for now.
Pow.